First, the space needs to be scanned. This can be done manually, but can also be done automatically as a person wearing a headset moves around a space, as you see here. As the headset moves, the sensors sweep around the space, cumulatively building up a model of it over time. Once the space is captured, the model can be pulled into VR and played back, mapped to the real world. It can also be broken down into its major parts, and it can be reskinned. Basically, at this point, real and virtual can be intermixed however you want. So that was pretty cool, but it was obviously a research video with plenty of artifacts. Can reconstruction get good enough to be really compelling? Well, here's a picture of a real apartment. Now, here's a reconstruction of that apartment done with consumer-grade sensors. Every time I see this, I'm astonished at how realistic it looks. It's easy to see how this level of reconstruction will enable virtual teleportation and powerful mixed reality. As we saw, a model of this detail and complexity takes time to construct. Instant real-time capture and reconstruction of the real world is also possible. It won't be as complete and polished, but will let you move around safely, interact with real objects, and mix real with virtual effectively. And that will be here within 4 years as well. Overall, computer vision capabilities are advancing rapidly, and I'm happy to stick with my prediction of high-quality mixed reality within 4 years. Now, mixed reality has implications beyond just expanding the range of VR experiences. Once we have good mixed reality, VR and AR suddenly have a great deal in common. For social reasons, you're probably not going to be walking around in public wearing a VR visor anytime in the near future, but otherwise, what difference does it make whether the photons showing you the real world come from the real world or from a display? In fact, mixed reality in VR is inherently more powerful than AR glasses because there's full control of every pixel rather than additive blending. Selections and perform actions in the virtual world. My prediction was that we'd have good hand tracking and gesture-based control of simple interfaces, with touch continuing to be the preferred mode for sophisticated interactions, and I'll stick with that. I also noted, though, that the only thing that I thought could fully displace touch-style controllers was the ability to use your hands directly, complete with haptics, to interact with objects in the virtual world, and that I didn't think that that would happen in the next 5 years, that in fact, it wasn't even on the distant horizon. I still don't think it'll happen in the next 4 years, but something interesting may in fact be on the distant horizon. This is definitely a deep research problem right now, but here's a video of one experiment. I predict the first time you get to use your hands with haptics in VR will be as much of a revelation as the first time that you put on a VR headset. Because that feedback loop from head motion to proper parallax is what creates strong presence in VR today. And I believe that that feedback loop from motor control to haptics can be equally powerful. So I don't have a 4-year prediction for haptic hands, but I'll make the farthest out prediction I've ever made. And finally, we come to my last prediction, virtual humans. Truly lifelike, real-time virtual representations of real people, which I didn't think would land within the 5-year horizon. That may still prove to be right, but this may be another case where I was insufficiently ambitious, because the rate of change is accelerating here too. Consider the face tracking video I showed 2 years ago. Now contrast that with this.
A good morrow to you, my boy. It's healthier to cook without sugar. Thank you, she said.
It's hard to believe, but one of those is a reconstruction, not a video. Can you tell which?
With statuesque composure.
The one on the right is the reconstruction. If you look closely enough, there are imperfections in the neck, the hair, the eyes, and the mouth, but it's impressively close to the real thing.
Thank you, she said, dusting herself off. George is paranoid about a few.
This is a novel machine learning-based approach we call codec avatars. And while it's still in an early stage, if it could be made to work for everyone and included bodies and hands, it would revolutionize how we communicate and collaborate. Put it together with mixed reality, and where you live would no longer have to be tied to where you work. You could visit, really visit with your family, even if you lived thousands of miles away.